Our first blind item reads, I don't think anyone is shocked to hear that the three named actor groomed his A-list actress ex. Did anyone believe they really started dating when she turned 18? And this is about actor Brian Austin Green and actress Megan Fox. Now, Megan has spoken out against the industry before and exposed some creepy executives. But this time, Megan's not doing the talking. Actually, Brian's ex, Vanessa, is coming out and claiming that yes, he did in fact groom Megan when she was a teen. Now, the reason why his ex, Vanessa, is coming forward is because she claims that both Megan and Brian had severed ties with her and their son they share together. Vanessa and Brian, they have a son. He's 22 years old, and I guess Brian doesn't want anything to do with him. Now, when it comes to Megan and Brian, they met when she was a teenager on the TV series Hope and Fate. Now, Vanessa dated Brian back in the 90s, actually until 2003, and they have their son together. His name is Cassius. But she claims that both Brian and Megan have excluded Cassius from their lives, which, I mean, he is like in his 20s, so I don't really know why Megan would be responsible for this kid. But either way, I don't think Megan is too fond of her relationship with Brian, and here's a clip of her talking a little bit about it.
I was not great because I was young and really should not have been in a relationship of that level of commitment and that magnitude with I shouldn't have been involved in that when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I shouldn't have been. So I did a lot of like falling in love with other people all the time.
Now, Vanessa recently defended Megan against criticism on social media, refuting claims that she never defends Vanessa and suggesting that Vanessa is a catalyst in her son's broken relationship with his father. Vanessa has responded to allegations regarding Megan's involvement with her son's life, Cassius, refuting claims that she was responsible for any neglect. Vanessa clarified that Megan was 17 years old when she was allegedly groomed by Brian and has since taken responsibility for her actions. Now, Vanessa claims that Megan has apologized to both her and her son for causing distress, for being involved in this relationship with Brian, even though it really wasn't her fault. She was a teenager. He had a son and a partner back home that he should have been responsible for and taken care of and faithful to. But Megan's over here apologizing, which I don't think she needs to apologize for being groomed. And I don't think Vanessa feels that way either. Here's a clip of Brian talking about his relationship with Megan, which I think is completely wrong. There's a power imbalance. He's older. He's got a family at home, and she was manipulated.
The divorce kind of came out of nowhere a bit. I mean, neither one of us did anything to the other. When we started dating, she was 18. My son Cassius was already born. She didn't get to experience being a single young woman that was just at the top of her fucking game. And, you know, and everybody wanted to talk to her and everybody wanted to meet her. And she didn't get the full experience of that because she was in a relationship and then ended up getting married, and then we had 3 kids, and so she was very responsible. Mm-hmm. I experienced a lot of stuff when I was young. I started doing now when I was 17. Yeah. So I went out to clubs. I fucking, you know, dated people. Like I lived, I traveled a lot. I did a lot of things. And Megan didn't get a chance to do that. She was really starting to feel the weight of it. Mm-hmm.
Now, Brian's not going to go away anywhere. They have 3 kids together, but it is important that he's acknowledging that she was young and she was probably not ready to be a mother and have a family. And he put her in that situation. Hopefully she's happier with MGK, but I mean, I can't imagine anyone being happy with him because he just seems so miserable. Our next blind item reads, I thought this A-list celebrity everyone hates unless they need a favor from her, like the illiterate one, quit drinking. Judging by those recent events, it doesn't look like it, which this is about Chrissy Teigen and her issues with alcohol. This person wrote, I remember reading that Chrissy was going to cut back on drinking, but not quit altogether. A few months later, she said that she was going to quit drinking and then spoke about blacking out, etc. If she's an alcoholic, then it's possible that she fell off the wagon. It takes some people several times before they quit for good. Another person wrote that Chrissy told a teenage girl to kill herself. That warrants my dislike of her. Another person replied to that saying, yeah, that was disgusting what she did. I don't like her either because of that. I thought she would have been permanently canceled, yet she's still hanging around. And if you guys don't know what they're talking about, go watch my Chrissy Teigen video about her tweets from the past. They are nasty. I saw someone refer to it on TikTok recently and they went viral talking about it, which we love to see. Definitely go and check me out on TikTok. If you are not, it's at SloanHooks. This person wrote, Chrissy Teigen, she does seem crazed lately, and it's curious to me how John Legend is in all of her baking product promos. I have her cookbooks, but she does annoy me. I actually want to try her Thai recipes since going to Thai restaurants is on my do not do list since nuts are involved in so much, but I would like to live. But I could make her dishes sans nuts. Okay, thank you, Susie, and we hope that you avoid all the nuts and you know, in the Thai restaurants because we don't like a nut allergy. My brother's actually allergic to peanuts too, so I relate. But here's a clip of Chrissy, and you must admit something seems a little bit off. Did you guys notice at the end she started to stumble and then her eyes got all big because she realized that she was going to tumble over? Headlines read that Chrissy and John kicked out of a photo booth. TikTokers suggest that they were, in fact, kicked out. Chrissy Teigen and John Legend seemed eager to take a pic at an event last night, but one woman is suggesting they booted her crew early so they can get their own shots. A new video posted on TikTok seemingly shows the moment that went down at the Sports Illustrated swimsuit anniversary party Thursday in New York City, when a few young ladies stepped up to hit some poses in the photo booth that was being used by everyone. Also, speaking of New York City, I'm actually in London right now. That's why my background looks like this. That's why I don't have my blind item breakdown hat, but we are still working and give you guys the good content that you need. After a few snaps in the clip, you could see her and John step into the booth, telling the woman that he and Chrissy were going to sneak into the booth for a moment of their own, so the girls got out. Reports continue, it takes them a bit to gather everything up, and John Legend and Chrissy Teigen awkwardly stand behind them, patiently waiting for them to grab everything they need so the couple could get their pics. As the girls try to send their own shots to themselves, Chrissy and John look annoyed. It's worth noting that there are a couple cuts in the video, so we don't actually know how long the group was using the photo booth or if there was a time limit to keep the line moving. That said, the video definitely makes it look like John and Chrissy got tired of waiting and decided to hustle their fellow party goers along so they could get their turn, which going to a lot of these LA parties, it is so like that. Like there's just like a little booth. People go wait in a long ass line to go and get this picture. It's not like some big celebrity thing. Like you'll think it's a red carpet unless it's like the Oscars or Grammys. Like it's just a little booth in the corner and everyone has to wait in line, including Chrissy and John Legend. And while it appears the women might have been bent out of shape, it doesn't actually seem like they were all that mad, even though Chrissy and John are acting entitled, like they deserve a picture more than these people do.
In if you don't.
Chrissy's face is telling me everything. You could tell she's not happy, she's not used to waiting, and she probably thinks that she's hot shit. Our next blind item reads, there has been enough buzz and talk about the old relationship that the family of this dead woman want police to reopen the investigation into her death and speak to the producer slash wannabe rapper about it. And this is about Kim Porter and Diddy, of course, because I really do think we need to get some justice for Kim Porter. We've talked about her before in a past video, and the way that she died doesn't seem accurate to me. I mean, you don't just like randomly get pneumonia and die, and then we've got an autopsy report that says something different, and then the person who did that autopsy report is then dead. I mean, it is scary, the cycle of this, and that's why I'm glad Diddy is actually caught. This comment reads, LA police probably got paid to cover her death, which would explain why they made an excuse as to why they can't press charges for the recent video. LA Police Department is beyond corrupt. Kim was writing a book, and he didn't want his secrets exposed. Her death was suspicious right from the start. When speaking about that hotel video, this person wrote, I would love to know who held that hotel video for years and just decided to leak it now. And they didn't sell it to TMZ, etc. So there's a story there. Cassie got her $30 million settlement, so she's set. Now remember, if you guys watched my video from yesterday, you would know that actually Diddy had paid for this footage, $50,000 for this footage, but I don't know how Cassie or CNN or anyone else got their hands on it. This person wrote, when Kim Porter passed, Al B said that she was poisoned and then he almost died. That's actually a common theme, that people who worked closely to Diddy or his record label or Kim Porter, they all just magically die. So, I mean, in my opinion, this man is going to hell. There's just too much death surrounding him. Kim Porter's friend is speaking out. His name is Kola Booth, and he claims that pneumonia can be faked so easily. As that hotel footage made its rounds online, an author and activist named Kola Booth started to trend on Twitter for her post. Kola claims that she was a friend of Diddy's ex-partner Kim Porter before she passed away in 2018. She made various shocking claims about Kim and Diddy's relationship, accusing him of multiple types of abuse. She wrote on Twitter, "But it proves what I'm saying. Just like the movie and book Murder in Texas. Husband murdered his wife and doctors took cash to say it was pneumonia. It can be easily faked." So they're saying that maybe Kim was, poisoned, and then he was able to pay off people to say that she wasn't, that she died of natural causes at a young age. It's all even more sketchy when you realize that she was writing a book about her life and Diddy, and then suddenly dies at 47 years old. Kola went on to insinuate that Diddy could have had something to do with her death. 2 months after her passing, the LA coroner's office confirmed that she died of pneumonia, which would not have taken 2 months for them to figure that out. It really should have taken them less than 24 hours, but of course, I'm sure Diddy had his hand in the mess behind the scenes, and that's why we got this response. Kola writes, "Pneumonia could be faked so easily by a doctor or the morgue. Please read up on this. She was writing a book. She dies at 47. And essentially, there are tons of conspiracies surrounding how she could have died. But now that Diddy is finding himself in real trouble, it looks like these aren't really conspiracies. And I wonder if the statute of limitations has passed for that. I mean, at this point, if you have killed someone, like what, 6 years ago, you probably should still go to jail. I mean, according to the LAPD, it looks like Diddy's just going to get off of everything because of the damn statute of limitations, which I think needs to be reviewed, especially if, I don't think this is true, but imagine if he did kill someone and then you could just get away with it because statute of limitations. I mean, essentially, I think that video, that hotel video, is attempted murder. So I think that they should charge it as that, even beyond assault, because he was dragging her around, kicking her, throwing vases at her. So I'm curious to what Kim Porter had to go through.
Am I the only one that finds it weird that Diddy's children that he shares with Kim Porter are 100% in support of him, even though so many things have come out in the way that he treated their mother? Am I the only one that finds that strange? Am I the only one that finds it strange that Quincy, who is not biologically Diddy's son, continues to support Diddy after, I'm sure that he knows because you was around. So I'm sure that you saw things. You guys were around them. So I'm sure that you heard things, saw things. And they continue to 100% stand by Diddy. I don't know. Maybe that's what that money and that power do. Because that's a bit strange to me. So many people that have been close to Kim Porter have come out, including Kimora Lee, including Al B. Shore, including Dallas Austin, including Ryan Leslie, and all these other people have said that he treated Kim worse than he treated Cassie.
Bad news for Britney. Our next blind item reads, the felon boyfriend of the permanent A-list singer supposedly threatened the life of the manager, or at least to beat him, which I wonder if that's about Kate Hudson. Yes, it is about Kate Hudson, who I'm not a fan of, but I don't think he needs to get beaten up. But maybe Britney's boyfriend can tell that Kate Hudson's not a good guy, and that's why he wants to go after him. We have a full video exposing Kate Hudson and what he has done to Britney and how he is sketchy, how he used his position at CAA to promise people careers in Hollywood just to get his dick wet. This person commented, but isn't Britney's manager a bad dude? They've got this right. Another person writes, while her BF is not ideal, I'm glad someone threatened Kate. Hopefully they did it out of protection for her. And honestly, I agree. I mean, as long as he's, his intentions are good, Kate Hudson, I don't think he's a good guy. But now we've got Paul, her boyfriend, who's a deadbeat. We've got his ex-girlfriend coming out saying that he's got at least 9 kids and he is far from good. Maybe Kate is bad, but Paul is even worse. Now, her name is Nicole and she has 5 children with Paul, who she's calling the EBT Nick Cannon. She said, my husband fell in love with Britney Spears's kitty, her punani. Her pum pum, accusing her ex of cheating on her with the pop star, saying he was married and now he denies his children and he neglects his children for her, which I don't think Britney would really like that. She goes on to share that he is currently on probation. So if he is officially living at her house, they have access to searching her house. So that's why he still has an address here. So I guess he is on probation. He probably shouldn't be moving around. He probably has his address listed at his his wife's house with the 5 other children, but he's been hanging out at Britney's, which I'm sure they're just kind of having their love bird fling thingy. Hopefully not using drugs, because you guys know they got physical at the Chateau Marmont, which is not a good look. She says, quote, he has 10 kids. He doesn't support any of them. They actually have a 1-year-old child together, and he doesn't even pay attention to that one either. Nicole's mother, Sandra Smith, put out a statement saying that Paul is a deadbeat dad and that she is in a difficult position because she's now helping her daughter take care of all these kids that are his responsibility. Though I do question, if he's got like 10 kids, he must be super fertile. Which could that mean like Britney Spears could like just randomly get pregnant? Please don't rush that. Quote, Nicole's torn by everything, her mother says. This has been going on for 5 years and he doesn't leave her alone. He keeps coming back. I wouldn't let him see the kids if it was me. She does because she wants them to have a dad, but I wouldn't want a dad like that. Now, we do have some court documents that show that he does pay for healthcare for 3 different children. We've got Tristan, Dylan, and Violet. I don't know if he's got 10 children, but at least according to the LA County Support Services, he's got 3. So I don't know if Nicole's trying to dramatize everything, but I mean, 3 kids are still something. I hope he's taking care of them. I mean, it looks like he's paying for their health care. I mean, he's in 2024, he's paying for their health care, so he must be doing a little something. In other news, Britney has been sharing her injury on Instagram with her typical bizarre captions, and I wanted to play a TikTok breaking down one of her latest posts for you guys.
2 days ago, a now deleted video was posted on Britney Spears' Instagram of her very severely swollen foot. Caption says, just last week, can you believe it? How is it already better? Well, I was stubborn and did it my way. I didn't listen to a motherfucking soul. I even wore heels at night and danced with the saints. I went into the ocean at 3 o'clock in the morning naked every night in Mexico, drank expensive wine, and sang in my outside shower. I did 12 videos in Mexico with my favorite new dresses. I finally told someone to their face for the first time, fuck you. I read all the books in the hotel. I took night drives that pissed me off because I wasn't at the wheel. A lady ripped me off. She made me pay $750 in a store when it was just $300. I washed my own clothes in the tub. I got nasty and put oil all over my body and shot in a swimsuit, but I never posted. I learned to look up a little bit more. I had weird dreams of church walls. I got a cold, and I left.
For our final blind item, we are talking about Ben Affleck. The A-list actor is an Oscar winner / nominee and is back to booze and coke big time, and he's looking rough. Poor Ben Affleck. I mean, if I had to deal with Jennifer Lopez, I don't know what I'd be on. I'd be on something though. One comment reads, I watched Ben at the roast, had to scroll past everyone leading up to him. There was no puncturing his pomposity. I was trying to guess what substances he was on. Ugly man, sad. Oh, damn, Susan, you went in. Another person writes, I don't blame JLo for his issues, but if I had a partner like her, I would drink too. Another person writes, drunken Duncan Ben. JLo is house hunting and he was looking and acting weird at the roast. Now this headline reads, what Ben Affleck refused to do in Jennifer Lopez's marriage before split. You guys may remember in her documentary that was on Amazon Prime that completely flopped, Ben shared that he did not want his relationship all over the media, all public, and that's exactly what Jennifer had been doing to them. Ben said, getting back together, I said, listen, one of the things I don't want is a relationship on social media, which is exactly what he got. He continued, then I realized it's not a fair thing to ask. It's sort of like you're going to marry a boat captain and you're like, well, I don't like the water. So yeah, if you're going to marry JLo, you're going to have to accept that you're going to be in the public. Now, rumors of their split really started resurfacing when she attended the 2024 Met Gala alone. Then it was reported that Ben is staying at a separate house from JLo. So I guess their $60 million home wasn't that comfortable when she was around in it. I mean, he would probably go to a regular house just to get away from her. Page 6 obtained photos of Ben Affleck riding around in his sports car Thursday morning in Brentwood. And that's supposedly the neighborhood in Los Angeles that he's been staying in. In Touch reported that JLo and Ben are in therapy right now to work on their marital issues. Quote, Ben believes in therapy to a point and is willing to be a good sport about participating with an open mind, even though he hates the whole humiliating process. To add fuel to the fire, on Thursday, JLo liked an Instagram post detailing the qualities of a partner that could lead to an unhealthy relationship. The post explained you cannot build a healthy relationship with somebody who lacks integrity and emotional safety, doesn't respect your time, lacks communication skills, and does not have a strong sense of self, which sounds like she's saying that all about Ben Affleck, which I would not want to feel that way about a significant other, like a partner. Doesn't sound like they're right for each other, but I could have told you that 20 years ago. I was probably, how old was I? I was like a little kid, I probably could have seen the red flags. I think we all can. Now, the couple have not been spotted out together much. We did see them attending a play for one of their kids recently, but they are still wearing their wedding bands. They're still legally married until the paperwork is filed. And I wonder what the prenup situation is for this marriage, because they do have a lot of assets. In her documentary, Ben was quoted saying, "We're just two different people with different approaches, trying to learn compromise." And I've always said this, if a relationship is that difficult, it's probably not your person. It should come easy.
Jennifer Lopez is the problem. I've come to figure out that Jennifer Lopez is the problem. She's boring as hell, her food's boring as hell, her movies are boring as hell. Who in the hell makes a boring as hell documentary about themselves in a musical that's boring as hell? Jennifer Lopez, okay? You know whose dad's boring as hell? Jennifer Lopez. You know how many times she's been married? 4. You know how many times she's been divorced? 3, but she's about to hit 4. Because allegedly for educational purposes only, her and Ben Affleck been living separate lives. You know, she's living in that $61 million mansion that they purchased together because they soulmates. And now he done moved the hell out and he's living down the street in a house that he's renting. He ain't even wearing his wedding ring no more is what they saying.
I hope you guys enjoyed this blind item breakdown. I know it looks a little bit different because I am in the UK. Hello, in the UK, just until the weekend. So if you see me out and about, say hello and let me know if there's anything. I can't do a British accent. I really can't. I can barely understand a British accent. I'm like, hello, what? Hey, what? Like, what'd you say? Excuse me, pardon? But, you know, I'm going to make it through. I think it's a little bit rainy. There's no windows in my hotel room, so I kind of feel like I'm in a, like, not Matrix, because isn't Matrix, like, all electronic? I feel like I'm locked in an IKEA store, and, yeah. There's not much to it. Spill Sesh is over here just sitting, like, editing while I'm filming this, so she got to see the blind item breakdown early and got to watch me mess up. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.